Hi everyone, welcome back to Paper Craft Possibilities. This is Susan Sutherland, and today we are going to be working with one of the new collections that's in the March-April catalog, and it's the Gnomes for spring. I'm going to mainly be using some solid papers, some cardstock, and some zip strips. So I've got various colors here you'll see. And we're going to work with those today. I've got some pictures still regarding our trip to Europe that I want to record. A lot of flower pictures, which I love, but I know not everyone's going to, but they mean something to my husband and I. So we're going to use these photos, these 6 4x4 photos in my page today. So let's roll the intro and let's get started. Welcome back. We are now going to use this white or daisy cardstock. It's a 12 by 12 sheet, which I will cut down just a little bit later after I get done doing some inking on it. This is a cloud stencil. I use this quite frequently. I don't think this one's still available, but I will find one that is and link it down below. I'm going to be using some Glacier Ink, which has it's a blue/green ink. And all of these can be ordered still through Close to My Heart, which I'll link below, through April 30th when you're working with a maker. So I'll link all that down below, but let's get started. So let me get my craft mat out real quick. I didn't grab that. And there is no rhyme or reason to this. Just use your best judgment. You want to see how it looks, hold it down. Okay, obviously that's too light. Let's try this again. There we go. So there you have a nice, let's see if I can put that closer to the camera. There you go. So now I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to rotate this kind of cut scalloped edge over here. That way it's a little bit different. The cloud looks different. Remember when you're ordering ink through Close to My Heart, since, you know, they are closing their doors as of June 30th, that if you love their inks like I do, you want to order some re-inkers so you have that on hand when your ink pads dry up a little. All right, off camera, I've gone ahead. Let me reach over here. My iPad's fallen down. That's how I look to see what I'm doing on camera, so I make sure I'm on screen. I've done some die cutting, but first I'm going to cut this down. And I'm going to take off a 1/2 inch on the top and a 1/2 inch on the side. So what that means is we'll have a 1/4 inch showing all around. Make sure I'm at a 1/4 there. And we'll turn this around. And take off a 1/2 inch here, so that makes a 1/4 on each side. Then what I want to do is I'm going to bring back in my Flamingo colored cardstock, and I'm using the darker side of it, and I'm going to gut the center of this. So I bring my paper over to the 1 inch mark, I bring my cutting area to 1 inch, and I bring it down to 11. I rotate it, and this is what we call gutting the paper. I'll get this done real quick here. Okay, now I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to go ahead and as close to the edge as you can get the tape here, glue, or put down your tape here. I say glue and tape intermingly. That's a new Susan word. Let me know what is correct. Make sure we're pressed down. So there we go. We have a good base. So today we're going to be working with a rainbow that I've cut out of one of the SVG files that you can get through Close to My Heart. So the plan is to actually cut 2 of these. I'm going to use one as a demo on that pink to make sure I have the darker side. So this will come in there. We have, this is Glacier paper, as was the ink that we used on the clouds. This is honey butter, and this is Limeade. And then I've cut out triple. This was something I made on my own in Cricut, and these were cut out with Cricut with the SVG files. I will show a picture. I'll insert it right here somewhere. This is a title that I put together myself through Cricut, and then I've cut it out 3 times. Excuse me, because I wanted the depth on this. So that is there, and I'm gonna have the words cut out. I'll get that glued up. And then on all of my rainbow pieces here, I'm gonna go through, and I have a white gel pen. I'm gonna come in here and make some large dash marks just to give some texture here. My pen does not want to write. So on these clouds, put this to the side for a moment. Oh, my nose itches. Okay. I'm going to ink these up, and then I'm going to run these through with a embossing folder. And I don't believe this company is out there anymore. If it is, I'll let you know. I will also find another embossing folder that's like this if this one's not out there. And I'm going to ink these up and then put them through my machine, my cutting machine. So let me get these inked up, and I'll show you how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to pound off a little there, and I'm going to come in and make the sides much darker and leave the center kind of white because that's where the sun would be hitting. Before I glue all this down, I wanted to come in and show you how important it is to dry fit everything in before you glue it down. So I know I'm going to have some flip flaps down here on the bottom, which is something that I can put my pictures inside of this. I'll put it on the outside of my sheet protector. That way it lets me have a total of 3 pictures here as opposed to 1. So I want those down there. I have gone ahead and inked up the blue sides with the same, the white part of the rainbow I've inked up in blue, which is the Glacier color. It's a blue-green. I have come in with all of my rainbow pieces and have done all of the white stitching on them. And I've also made my clouds. So I inked these up after I cut them in my Cricut. I ran them through my embossing folder, and now I'm going to be putting these down in here somewhere. So I will place them all just to make sure I have enough room for everything. And then my title, get this down here, my title will then go across here. So I think that allows me enough room. So it's just important that we do that, because I was going to put it down a little bit lower and I realized, is this all going to fit? So let me come back and get this all glued down, and I will come back to you. I am going to let you know one thing, because I heard from one of the customers recently that they have our glitter pens. And what you want to remember to do when you get these is there is a little yellow tab here. You can just screw that off, and that keeps it so the ink doesn't dry out when it's in storage. So then you come back in here and you screw this on, and you'll hear kind of a pop. There it goes. And that way you know that the ink cartridge inside has just been popped. Make sure that you shake these really, really well before you use them, because that'll get the glitter mixed back up with the ink inside. And you gotta be careful. I've got my craft mat over to my right, just so I don't get too much. So what I'm doing is I'm coming over the embossed edges of my clouds here using the silver. And I think it's adding a lot to these little clouds. And I've also bumped the clouds up with some 3D foam dots. At least most of them. I still have to do this one. All right, I'm back in and I'm gonna put some finishing touches on here. I've cut down these zip strips to, I've cut off a ½ inch. So we're at 11½ inches. I'm gonna bring these in just a little on the sides. I would like some white showing there. So this inside right here is coming right to 11 inches on my mat, on my Versamat here. Let me get this one inked up. There I go again. Goodness gracious. Taped up. I'm going to put down these two pictures here so I can kind of get a feel for where I want those. Obviously, I want them to kind of straddle the 6-inch mark here. And then like we had talked about before, the Versamats, goodness. The flip-flops will go there on the outside of the sheet protector. So that'll give me a total of 6 pictures on this page. A few finishing touches. I've brought in this was in the die. No, it wasn't in the, I went through Cricut and found this little butterfly. We'll see how it works. I may or may not use it. I'm gonna go ahead and try and ink it up again on the sides with some Flamingo, just to give it a little bit of definition. I'm not sure how this will go, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna like it. This little guy's got some fragile parts on him, so I'm gonna be careful. His little antennas there are pretty delicate. Let me, I have my craft mat over here to the side. I think that's good. Once I get him glued down, I'm going to also put some of the same silver gel that I have over on the clouds. And what I'll probably do, well, I will do, is I'm going to put some 3D dots underneath here so his wings don't get smushed over the time, because there's nothing underneath here. Then, let's see, let's get some of our clear out.